Hello, dear colleagues. My name is Alexey Grinchenko. I am facility manager based in St. Petersburg, Russia. Today we talk about hygiene on the example of the factory located in St. Petersburg. But before we start, I have one question to you. Have you ever been in St. Petersburg? While we are waiting for all participants to connect, I'll invite you to watch a short video about the city. Hope you like the video of St. Petersburg. So let's start. Hello again, my name is Alexey Grinchenko. I am facility manager based in St. Petersburg, Russia. Our webinar is about facility management features of hygiene in working environments. My background is related with different aspects of property, and I manage facilities during the entire building life cycle. I worked in various industries: manufacturing, hotels, business centers, health and sport facilities, and now I act as a property developer, a FM practitioner, speaker, and the consultant. What do we expect when we see the headline which contains the word hygiene? What a boring topic, isn't it? Since our childhood, every day we hear, wash your hands after the toilet, brush your teeth, keep your workplace clean, or even this one, go to sauna after work, and so on and so forth. I promise not to be very boring today and even will try to entertain you a little. So, what to expect from today's conversation? Hygiene is a huge topic. We have a lack of time. There are professionals at the meeting. So there is no need to discuss basics and theory. Today's webinar is not logical hygiene teaching course and not operating instruction for a cleaning professional. Instead, I suggest you some sort of virtual site visit with several practical cases from industrial and office environment. Cases are not totally related to hygiene. They are partly cover other issues like purchase, operations and maintenance, health and safety. It is difficult to draw a clear line where public hygiene and personal health and safety ends and business sustainability begins. Today we will see it in some cases. They illustrate main principles and approaches and contain practical observations. Do you know this lady in the picture? This is Greek goddess Hygeia, who gave her name to hygiene. In Greek mythology, she was responsible for health, cleanliness, and sanitation, like some sort of ancient representative of a femme. Hygiene is a branch of medicine dedicated to disease prevention, health increase, and life prolongation. Hygiene studies the impact of life and work conditions on a person and develops measures to ensure optimal living conditions and working capacity. FM is about taking care of people and built environment at the same time as a one system, taking into the consideration needs of both. In my opinion, both work for people and increase quality of life. If in medicine we are talking about personal and public health, then in case of FM, the health of built environment is added to previous two. There is a gradual centering of professional standards around people, not only buildings. So now we need to take a broader look at our facilities and find out what happens with our customers inside them, what factors affect people and how they react on these factors. We will not dive into the details of different types of hygiene. Depending on the industry and situation in the company, there may be a need to study additional related areas and compliance, like sanitary legislation, labor protection, building codes, specific industry rules, sustainability, design norms, and so on. I want to disappoint you right away. Today it will be no special know-how. Hygiene in practice is based on common sense and usability for our customers and facility management team. Both people and business need home to live in and operate from. Safe, comfortable, functional, economically reasonable, sustainable, aesthetic, healthy and clean. FM provides all this. Today, cases are taken from operational level of FM, but they may also influence FM tactics and strategy. Now I invite you to a site visit. Most of today's cases are taken from this factory, launched in 2011. It represents electronic manufacturing facility for TV assembly and belongs to Chinese company TPV. Main internal customer was Philips. I worked for this factory for almost 10 years as a facility manager. The factory is located in the former warehouse building, which was reconstructed. By the way, the factory launch took us only 12 weeks. This is the quickest Philips factory launch in the world. Context. The TV assembly industry has a very high dynamics, which require quick support from a firm. Factory occupied 25,000 square meters and had the capacity in about 2 million TVs per year, with the possibility to work 3 shifts, 24 hours, 7 days a week. The warehouse served up to 70 incoming trucks per day. In peak, we had up to 800 employees. For me, as a firm, it means that I had 800 internal customers plus visitors. So you can imagine the load for the facilities. Hygiene goals are based on common sense and include defects prevention by providing clean assembly and laboratories, and healthy work environment for people and good image for the factory in general. To meet these goals, we had to create conditions for personal hygiene inside, organize cleaning inside and outside the building, including building elements, surfaces, and equipment hygiene, and take care of indoor air quality and related health and safety issues. So let's go inside. We will start with flooring. Why flooring first? Because dust and dirt appears on the floors first and then spreads in the air and on the other surfaces. In the factory we had several types of flooring: natural stone in the lobby, concrete and electrostatic self-leveling floor for ESD in manufacturing and warehouse, normal linoleum, ESD linoleum, carpet in the office area, and different types of tile in the toilets, canteens and staircases. In general, for each area we need separate operation manual with detailed instruction for the cleaner describing the chemicals, equipment use, cleaning procedure and even the optimal route of movement during the cleaning. Today we should not discuss the details and brand names of the chemicals because they differ from market to market. Flooring differ in material design, field of application, material quality. What is important, depending on these properties, they also have different hygiene maintainability. Less diversity of flooring types you have, then it is better. You will need less efforts to keep them clean, and hygiene in general will be lower. Even though such a routine FM operation as floor cleaning may go wrong. This is a picture of a tile flooring at the main entrance staircase. This is a case. This case is taken from the early stage of the building life cycle, just after commissioning it from the construction team. The tile floor was left very dirty after the construction works, and the cleaning company washed it using the special chemicals that contained hydrochloric acid. First, the cleaners read no MSDS. Second, the cleaning was made during nighttime with lack of control and without subsequent ventilation. The main staircase has glass walls, as you can see in the right picture. After sunrise, the air temperature inside has risen. Vapors of hydrogen chloride condensed on the cold metal railings, forming the multiple spots of brown ferric chlorides on them. New railings were totally spoiled. It took us 2 days and huge efforts to remove ferric chlorides from them, but some marks still remained. Lessons learned. Attract FM during the early project stage. Trust your vendors, but control them. Look for MSDS during chemicals purchase to avoid surfaces damage and poisoning. This is also about health and safety. Issue operation instruction for each, I'll repeat, each specific surface and area, and provide training for the staff. For the concrete floors in manufacturing and warehouse areas, we use different types of washing machine depending on the area intensity use and the factory equipment arrangement. We tested several brands available in the market. Tennant provided us the lowest costs during the entire life cycle with the acceptable quality. They provide reliable floor washing machine, but these machines also need a regular service. Otherwise, one can find such strange result of the cleaning, as you can see on this picture with a red frame. Problems usually appear when two different flooring types are connected, as on the left side of the screen. They require various equipment and chemistry. For example, white ESD floor require white brush and special washing soap due to different and specific surface characteristics. The cleaner, in our case, the cleaner tried to reduce efforts and costs, ignoring the necessity to change brushes for tenant when switching from concrete to ESD. Very soon the white ESD became gray. But the color change is only one small issue. ESD flooring. ESD means electrostatic discharge, and this flooring has its own specifics. It prevents the TV electronic components from the discharge. Normally, it is used together with special clothes, shoes, tables, and other equipment. If the floor looks like this, in this picture with a red frame, you may be sure that it does not perform its function correctly. If so, the motherboards may be simply killed by ESD during assembly. Sometimes dirt on ESD may provoke even the mass defects. Dust on the floor at the assembly area and the conveyor itself, as in these pictures, may give similar results. Electrolyte, diesel fuel and oil spills on concrete falls represent specific case if you use forklifts for factory operations. Here we need to prevent spills and educate FM team how to eliminate consequences in a safety manner. Wheels of the forklifts may spread the electrolyte and oil spill all over the factory in several minutes. As aggressive liquids, they spoil the surfaces, make them slippery, and in big quantities or in case of prolonged exposure may even reduce strength of the concrete and of course represent the health and safety case for the people. A spill also may be a compliance question if we look at it at the point of view of the building landlord or from the point of view of the ISO 14000 standards. Such spills may occur elsewhere, but charging rooms are the most risky places. Here is an example of a special hygiene equipment and is related with safety. Eye wash station. We need it in dangerous areas. For example, this one is installed in the charging room. One can immediately wash eyes and face in case of electrolyte damage. The hygiene infra must be available. On this picture in the red frame, you see that the direct way to the eye wash is partly blocked by a live cable. It is not a very serious barrier, but in case of emergency hygiene, seconds matter. Now let's go up to the office. Carpet case. Carpet flooring increases silence and gives comfort in the office and looks good when it is new. But for purchase, better to take not light color. Of course, you may have company's brand book limitations, but keep in mind maintenance and cleaning. Pile height have to be as low as possible. In this case, it was about 3 millimeters. Carpet is a nice solution, but it accumulates invisible dust, and which may rise up in the air and reduce indoor air quality. Dirt that was not caught at the entrance accumulates inside the carpet, form huge spots under the tables. These areas are very often ignored by the cleaning, and after furniture relocation, you may find totally spoiled carpet. Splashes of coffee between the tables also provide negative impact. Coffee and water were the only permitted substances in the working place. For the meals, we organized special small rest area in production and a small kitchen near the office. So what to do with that? To prevent, of course, this is cheaper. Removable carpets and wardrobes for shoes and clothes at the entrance of the office were installed. Shoes change is especially important during winter. Later I'll show you winter photos outside the building describing why it is so important. Carpets require daily cleaning for places with intense use, like corridors and offices, including space under the furniture. For example, in this open space, about 60 people worked. For meeting rooms, which has less intensity, 2 times per week cleaning was enough. The extractor for deep cleaning is better choice than ordinary vacuum cleaners. Additional regular deep dry cleaning was held quarterly. Preliminary test per obligatory. This is a good practice, but we need to reserve enough additional time after the cleaning to dry the working space, because humidity will be very high, as in this picture. You can see it in the screen in the red frame. About other surfaces. So what other surfaces require hygiene and where you may find the cleaning mistakes? Building elements like beams and girders. Dust on girders may also be a question of fire safety, especially in the welding areas. Furniture elements, vertical surfaces like doors, glass doors, walls, partitions also accumulate dust and dirt. This also may have negative impact on company's image and of course on FM image, of course. Demotivate personnel, go up in the air and decrease the indoor air quality. Hygiene of frequently touched surfaces, indoor air quality and of course personal hygiene are especially important now due to the pandemic situation. COVID-19 is an actual theme for a talk. Common approaches were used. Partly remote work for office were organized, masks wearing, temperature control twice a day, as usual. At the conveyor, where it is lack of social distancing, there is a lack of social distancing, but in the canteen, additional protective screens were installed on the tables. There were some solutions that were invented far before the pandemic. For example, hand cleaning stations were installed, hand wash rules infographic used. The people flow was initially separated into dirty flow from the entrance to the changing rooms and to the clean one from changing rooms to the manufacturing hall. During pandemic, it helped us a little. Shifts did not meet each other in the changing rooms, but only for a short transition period at the conveyor. I would like to show you one strange solution which happened during the first wave of COVID, when the cleaners started to bandage the door handles and impregnate them with some disinfectant. The trick is that this substance had an irritating effect on the skin, and some people got the yellow colored palm skin. The surface on the doors was also spoiled. Why? Again, nobody have read the MSDS. Later, this disinfectant was changed into safe one, but the wet bandage on the door, on the door handle, gives the negative sensation when it is touched by the user. Also, when the disinfectant evaporates, the bandage becomes accumulator for bacteria. From medical point of view, simple wiping down the door handles regularly is more than enough. By the way, the dirtiest place is not the door handle or a toilet, as it might seem. It is your mobile phone. so clean it regularly. In general, the normal hygiene and cleaning is enough for managing COVID case. The only thing is to increase frequency. Good oxygenation is also a key, so the ventilation of the premises has to be increased. I promised you to show what happens outside during winter. At the beginning, we saw the beautiful photo of this factory taken from the drone, which was taken during summertime, but in winter situation is not so nice for a facility manager here. Do you have winter in your country, with winter with snow? We do have. It is very wet and cold. Temperature may fluctuate from +5 to -30 degrees Celsius during one day, or balance around zero, so the dirty combination of mud, snow, ice, water, sand and salt that you see in these pictures goes simply inside the building. To catch it at the entrance, we used removable carpet servers. Depending on the weather, we change them from 1 to 2 times per week. You can also see me on this photo. Sometimes I held small master classes for FM team how to deal with such winter hygiene cases. In addition to normal outside cleaning and weather surprises, the incoming truck may bring you extra work. Spills of oil and other dirty substances occur from time to time. Good practice is to work with your incoming truck's vendors to prevent such situations. In cases where the vendor repeatedly sent a dirty truck to us, we simply blocked his permission to enter the territory. Good practice is to have a spill kit with sorbent in the loading area to manage such cases. Now let's return to the building and see what else we can suggest to our customers for better hygiene. First, changing rooms with individual lockers. Enough toilets and showers. Clean water to wash and drink. Enough consumables. Hands cleaning and emergency eye wash stations. And of course infographics with best hygiene practices. There are very important hygiene facilities that require special attention. I mean toilets. First necessary thing in the toilet is a clean water for sanitary needs. If you have water in the water pipe, it does not automatically mean that it is clean. In these two separate cases, water was contaminated with dirt and acid due to incorrect maintenance of the tubes and heat exchanger service at the local heating factory. Speaking about the toilets, I would like also mention the use of rational equipment and consumables. Think about equipment in the toilet in terms of price, convenience, hygiene, and its maintainability. Towels dispensers case. In our case, we found a nice cost-saving solution related with such paper towels dispensers. Our supplier gave them us for free. But the model was relatively complicated and we faced the negative combination of the following factors. Infographics located on the dispensers are often ignored by the user. Due to the design issue, incorrect installation of the towel roll may happen and asymmetry appears. The roll clamp is fragile and breaks off easily. As a result, the paper towel jams. Further, depends on the user's behavior, and here are the possible results. Very often the user simply crushes the dispenser instead of making a phone call to a firm for help. Not every user will call you and report about the problem, but he will for sure tell other colleagues that there is a mess in the toilet. This is another reason to review equipment prior to installation it throughout the factory. Used paper towels in a bin gives us one more risk: fire safety. In case of smoking in the toilet, to prevent such cases, fume detectors were installed in the toilets and special separate smoking rooms were organized. There is another subtle problem with paper consumables. Toilet paper melts in the sewage, but not the towels. If they go down to the sewage, they cause the blockage. Special handmade nets were installed into the sewage wells. It was dirty work to clean them up, but it was much cheaper than to hire a special mobile pump station to clean the whole sewage system. If a towel dispenser and the paper towel itself provides us with such huge amounts of problem, maybe air hand dryer is better. Well, it depends. For example, Dyson is expensive to buy, require additional cabling and electricity. It emits the water drops up in the air during the hand drying. They may be dirty and contain bacteria. This will lower the indoor air quality in the restroom. In this sense, towel is more hygienic. Positive impacts of the air hand dryer are fire safety, cost reduction on consumables, and time saving for cleaning personnel to install the paper towels. I don't have the definite answer what is better, but personally as a user, I prefer towels. Hygiene shower is a very useful equipment for a toilet. Install them where is possible. This will decrease the toilet paper consumption, decrease probability of blockage, and will make your customers happy. These showers has their own specifics from maintenance point of view. Do not rely on the button on the handle. Always install it in combination with a valve or a shower tap. Special problem may appear when two types of flooring are in touch. For example, tile in the toilet and carpet in the corridor. Toilet is 2 meter deep, so there is no buffer, and all wet substances from the floor immediately will be carried out to the carpet. Have a look at these pictures. Toilet brush. It is a very simple thing, but it requires attention too. For example, during the training of the cleaning personnel. In this case, cleaner added chemistry into the toilet brush can in order to lower his own efforts. The splashes appeared on tile and were carried out to the corridor by shoes. There were several cases when they poured chlorine-based liquids to the toilet brush, at the end causing the discolor of the carpet in the corridor. You can see such defects in the pictures. Soap dispenser arrangement may create similar problems. With such arrangements of the dispenser, the soap will drip down to the floor and then will be carried out with shoes. Here we have soap overrun, slippery floors as a safety issues, and extra load for cleaning personnel. Smell, which appears in the toilet or in the working space, either may be a part of indoor air quality, like insufficient ventilation, or may be related directly with poor cleaning and personal hygiene. For toilets, we used very convenient automatic air fresheners. If you use, by the way, if you use batteries for such automatic equipment, try to find the equipment that needs one type of batteries, AA for example. This will reduce your efforts and costs. Smell as the result of the use of such fresheners was so good that we faced one more problem, the theft of the cylinders. For smell related with particular people, individual communication and training were used. Indoor air quality and microclimate is one more hygiene issue. Every person has its own perception of the comfort and microclimate. Is it stuffy or warm enough in the room? In the open space, this issue is maybe more difficult due to various opinions. In order to manage such claims and find the optimal regime for air conditioning and ventilation, low-cost indoor air quality measurement was invented. In this case, I used an IQ Air monitor. You can see it in the picture. Here we can see that the temperature and carbon concentration are relatively high and may decrease the working productivity. The location of working equipment in relation to engineering systems may also influence the indoor air quality. In this example, heavy used printer is located away from the exhaust ventilation and emits some ozone and toner particles during operation. Ventilation and air condition needs qualified hygiene and filters changing. We did it on quarterly basis. Take into the consideration that ventilation design and compliance norms not always provide enough comfort. We may simply face low ventilation machine productivity. In the absence of central air conditioning combined with ventilation, we can also observe the equipment conflict, as in the case on the next picture. If the user feels discomfort when it is blowing from the air conditioner, the problem is obvious. Low-cost protective shields solved it. Non-obvious case: the mixing of invisible streams coming from air conditioning and ventilation and their redirection, as in this picture in the red frame. In this case, user reports about discomfort of blowing, but cannot define from which direction. The relocation of ventilation away from air condition helped ventilation diffusers away from air conditions helped to solve this case. By this moment, we talked about customers' convenience, but FM's technicians, cleaners are also customers. If something is not convenient, people may try to find a solution by themselves, or hygiene result may be very tricky. Even such small thing as a lack of water taps in convenient places may result in funny consequences, like on these pictures, or may cause serious damage, as in the next case. In this case, cleaner disassembled the siphon under the sink and filled the bucket with water. The trick is that some accident happened and water supply has stopped exactly at this moment. He forgot to close the tap and left disassembled siphon too. After the water supply was resumed, the neighboring finished good warehouse was flooded. You can see it in the picture. The hygiene work should look well organized for outside observer to protect FM image, and really should be organized. FM team work better if they work in a good and comfortable conditions. Not only customers, the building also feels better when FM team knows everything about it. It is important to have an FM register for all assets that you have in the building. We need it for maintenance, for replacement, for cleaning, and for hygiene. Starting from the ventilation in manufacturing and finishing with the coffee machine in the canteen. Lack of attention to hygiene in meal areas and canteens and related equipment. Refrigerators, microwave ovens, vending machines, coffee machine can attract insects and rodents. If they appear, additional regular efforts will be required to eliminate them from the building. For example, I caught this nice animal by hand in the middle of the production hall. It may be funny if you like animals, but not good from hygiene point of view. We used mouse traps and bite stations at the perimeter and ultrasonic scanners inside the building. And for insects, special treatment with poisons was held quarterly. So, what are the conclusions for FM from hygiene area? Every process, every area or equipment needs to have an owner who is responsible for its maintenance and hygiene. Necessary to attract FM during the early project stage and try to influence the facility's design and control the equipment purchase and further arrangement. Keep in mind what will happen with this equipment in the long run. Look for MSDS during chemical purchase to avoid surfaces damage and poisoning. This is also about health and safety. Issue operations instructions for each specific surface and area and provide training for the staff. What to clean, with which chemicals and how. After you train your vendors, trust them, but control them from time to time. Communication and training for the customers are also very important. And of course, don't be invisible. If your tenants will understand what you do for them, for sure they will help you to keep the facilities clean. All solutions we choose, starting from the locating of the toilet in the building during the construction and finishing with the thickness of the paper towel during its purchase, all of them at the end of the day influence the bottom line in the FM budget. That's all for today. The slides will be available for the participants. This webinar happened due to the efforts of the Malaysia-Europe FM Development Initiative and EuroFM. I would like to thank all the participants for attending today's event and for your attention. Thank you and bye-bye.